So I'm going to ask you to indulge me in a little bit of nostalgia today, and it all has to do with this. At the time of this recording, I am 41 years old. I was born in October of 1975. I am currently driving through the northeast corner of Rochester, New York. Borders the town of Irondequoit. This is where I grew up. These streets around me here, this apartment complex, this is where I spent my formative early teenage years stomping around this area. I'm on Norton Street right now. This is Waring Road. I have some stories for you about what went on Waring Road between 1987 and 1993 or so.
Oh, boy!
But that's for another time.
What the hell? Who does that?
Let me get back to the purpose of the video, which is to talk about this dude right here. This, my friends, is a Whatchamacallit candy bar. So a week or so back, I came home from work. My wife had been out running errands, getting stuff that we need, groceries, whatever. And when I got home, she was putting away the last of the groceries and the supplies. I saw this one bag sitting on a counter all by itself. Everything else had been put away. And I asked her, what's in that bag right there? She says, oh, that's for you. So I take a look in the bag, and lo and behold, is this big old candy bar. I said, why in the world did you buy me a Whatchamacallit candy bar? Well, turns out a couple weeks back, we were at Five Below, which is a store. I don't know if you have that in your area or not, but it's pretty cool. And Five Below had these Whatchamacallits for sale. Now, I haven't seen them in years. I have not seen a Whatchamacallit bar on the grocery store candy shelf for as long as I can remember. And while we were at Five Below, I pointed them out to my wife because this represents so much of my childhood.
He eats so many candy bars.
And yes, I was a fat kid, and yes, I did eat a lot of candy bars. Shut up.
I eat more candy.
But that's not the point. The Whatchamacallit candy bar represents something very good about my childhood. So a little more background on me. Raised for the most part by a single mom. Did remarry at one point when I was about 12. Stepfather, decent dude. A little goofy. Whenever there was an errand day with my mom where shopping had to be done or whatever, I would try to tag along. There was no Walmart here in those days. There was no Target. If you were going to go shopping somewhere, ultimately it was Kmart.
Kmart! Kmart! It's your name. Yes, it is. Unique value, face to face. Kmart! Kmart!
The Kmart, of course, is long gone. I think they closed down in 2008 for good.
Sears Holdings, which owns Sears and Kmart, told Kmart employees about the closures on Friday. In all, the company is closing 64 stores in 28 states.
But we would come here primarily in order to do any shopping that had to get done. So I would tag along, my mom, my stepfather, they'd be walking around getting whatever they needed, and I would be allowed to go to the toy aisle by myself. Now, depending on what kind of week I had, I would see if I could convince my stepfather to let me buy an action figure.
You can pit He-Man against Beast-Man.
Usually around $5 or so for these. Sometimes you say yes, sometimes they say no. But I had a fallback position in this negotiation. If I couldn't convince them to buy me the toy, my go-to was to ask for a Whatchamacallit.
Whatchamacallit? Whatchamacallit? That's right. What's right? Name? What name? Whatchamacallit?
And I don't know why. I don't know what it is about this particular candy bar that I just love. And if I'm smiling like an idiot right now, it's because, honest to God, this candy bar is just one of those pieces of nostalgia that just meant that things were good in my childhood. Now, if you've never heard of the Whatchamacallit bar, it was invented in 1978 by the Hershey's Company. There's a peanut-flavored crisp, like the crispy rice inside of a Nestle's Crunch. There's a layer of caramel on top, and then the whole thing covered in chocolate.
Whatchamacallit from Hershey. The thick, crunchy bar of peanutty tasting crisp drenched in chocolate. Whatchamacallit. You can ask for it by name.
Nothing really special about this particular candy bar, but when I saw it and when I see it, and when my wife remembers that I said that this was something I really enjoyed as a kid, it made me want to come back here. It made me want to come back to an area that I grew up in and that I spent time in, because I haven't been over here in a very long time, and a lot of it has changed. So in my mind's eye, I know what this parking lot looked like then. I know what this street looked like. Those neighborhoods that I drove through. All of it comes back to you. And yeah, sometimes there's a little bit of longing there. So, if I may, and if you will indulge me, I'm going to eat my Whatchamacallit bar. And instead of a 41-year-old guy sitting in a minivan, I feel like I'm 8 years old again, and that my mom and stepfather said no to the toy, but I got the candy bar. Here we go. Yeah. It really is like a Nestle's Crunch, but peanut butter flavored. And it's just got the thin layer of caramel on top. It's just an amazing candy bar. But it's kind of cool to think that one little act based on something that was said in passing can create this impactful moment and trigger this nostalgia. But what about you? Is there a particular thing that will trigger that kind of nostalgia from your childhood? Tell me down in the comments, and I would love to hear what memories you have growing up just represent a really good time in your life. I really appreciate you allowing me this moment of silly reflection. So much of what we deal with in day-to-day life now can be negative. There's a lot going on in our lives and in the world, and I think wherever we can find a moment to stop and look back and remember something good, that can only be a good thing. Appreciated having you along today as I enjoyed my Whatchamacallit. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you dig what I do, please hit that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you along and have more conversations with you. If you're already subscribed to the channel, remember to hit the little bell next to the subscribe button so you'll get the notifications when the new videos come out. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the road.